Alright, just wanted to make a quick video on multiplying and dividing real numbers. I don't think this is going to be too hard for you. Most of it is just being proficient with your calculator. One thing I did want to mention, I did mention it last week, but I want to make sure you guys understand this. So if you have a negative attached to a number like this, you don't want to use the subtraction key that's on like the right hand column of your calculator. Next to the enter key on the very bottom, you'll see a negative symbol in parentheses. That means it's going to be attached to that number. So you need to use that key and not the subtraction key that's with the other functions on the right hand side. Okay, so if you ever get syntax error as an answer on your calculator, that means you're using the wrong key there. All right, and let's start with number 6. Negative 8 times positive 5. We need to simplify inside these absolute value bars first. Negative 8 times positive 5 is negative 40. Absolute value of negative 40 is positive 40. All right. The rest of this is all calculator work. Let's make sure we know how to do number 18. Number 18, we have to simplify in these absolute value bars first. 15 divided by negative 5 is negative 3. And that's in the absolute value bars. Just going to update everything here. Now, we still need to simplify inside here first. What's the absolute value of negative 3? Well, it's positive 3. I'm going to write that answer in parentheses because I want to remind myself that there was no symbol in between here, so that means we need to multiply them. Okay? So now I have 3. So I don't want students to simplify there and say, okay, 33 plus 5. That's not right. We got to go 3 times 3, which is 9, plus 5 is 14. Okay? How about number 20? So again, simplify. We have to simplify under this square root symbol first. So let's do 4 times 9. That's 36. So what is the square root of 36? We still need to do that first. Square root of 36 is 6. Again, I'm going to put this in parentheses because I need to remind myself there's no symbol in between. That means we need to multiply. So we're going to do negative 3 times positive 6, which is negative 18. Okay. Let's just take a look at a couple of these. So commutative property, the number 21 is associative property. Associative property is where the order doesn't really, or not order, but what you do first doesn't really matter, right? If we do 8 times 3 and then times 4, we're going to get the same answer as if we do 3 times 4 and then times 8. Okay? 23 is a good example of commutative property. That's where the order doesn't matter. 7 times 9 is the same thing as 9 times 7. Okay. Number 27, Mr. Sullivan refuses to believe that associative property doesn't work for division. He works the following problem to prove that it does work. He is wrong. Circle the mistake in his proof. Correct his proof by showing that both sides are not equal to each other. You guys might have forgotten how to divide fractions like this. The error is not here. You might look at this and say, that ain't right. But 8 divided by 12 is 16. Here is the actual mistake here, is showing that 2 divided by 1/2 is 1. 2 times 1/2 would be 1. 2 divided by half is 4. So there's his error there. Okay, let's look at some of these problems here. Remember, you can make this easier on yourself by just separating these into two different terms here. You got 6x divided by 2 and negative 14 divided by 2. So 6 divided by 2 is 3. So we'll say 3x. Negative 14 divided by 2 is negative 7. Okay, that's bad. 3x minus 7. There we go. All right, how about this one? Again, just separate them into two. 9z divided by negative 3, negative 6 divided by negative 3. So we got negative 9 divided by negative 3. That's a negative divided by a negative. That is a positive, right? Signs are the same. The answer is positive. So we get positive 3z And negative 6 divided by negative 3 is going to be positive 2. All right. Hopefully that makes sense on how to do these. We'll do one more. It looks like this one might not work out as nicely as the other ones. Negative 6p divided by 6 and 15 over 6. So negative 6 divided by positive 6, that's negative 1p. And honestly, if you kept this as 15 over 6, well, I'm going to say I'm not going to love it because it's not simplified. But you don't have to change it into a mixed number. If you just reduce this to 5 over 2, that would be the best. But negative 1p plus 5 over 2 is a totally fine answer. You could also convert that to a mixed number and say negative 1p plus 2 1/2. Either answer is correct. All right, that's all I've got for you guys. Hopefully you guys can tackle the rest of these problems. If you need help, just come find me on the Google Meet. Good luck.